Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Nelson Pine captured in print, girls compete at Saxton, Green Meadows Community Centre, questions raised, and more. Nelson Business Road Hogs indoor mini golf business now has a new owner. In a first for Nelson and possibly New Zealand, a fully functioning business was put up for grabs for a new operator to come and take over free of charge. After receiving 100 applications of interest to take the business on, Road Hogs owners Troy Waring and his wife Joanna Peachy found the right person for the job, Tanya Omega, whose organisation Youth and Kids Engage in Enterprising Skills they felt fitted the intention of the gift perfectly. Chrissy Small caught up with the Road Hogs creator and former owner Troy and the business's new owner Tanya at Road Hogs in Nelson.
Road Hogs, it's all happened, it hit national headlines, now we're down to the real nitty gritty. Troy, you had 100 applicants.
Yep, that's right.
And how did you get to find Tanya?
Oh, it was easy, look at her, she's lovely. It was a difficult process to begin with. We had to sort through the 100. Most of them just sort of stuck their hand up and said, yep, I'll have it, with no other background story, no business plans, nothing. And when Tanya's email came along, it just leapt out of the masses and said, here I am. And it was a no-brainer really at the end of the day.
Yeah. So okay, what was it that most appealed? What did she offer that was lacking in some of the other applicants?
Oh, style and grace more than anything else. No, Tanya had a well thought out plan. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she wanted to achieve, and articulated it really well. She wrote up a really nice email and explained who she was, what she wanted to achieve, and where she wanted to take it. And that ticked all of our boxes, really.
Right. So, yikes.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about Yikes and what inspired you to make this a part of that.
Okay, well, Yikes is about youth and kids engaged in enterprising skills. So we have a range of activities we offer children after school and in the holidays. And when I saw, and we have quite a few branches into the community, and when I saw the opportunity, I thought that could actually fit really well with what we're doing, and be a nice enhancement to what we're doing as well. And there's a team, it's not just Tanya, there's a team, an awesome team. So when I submitted the proposal, I really have to say it's because there's a great dynamic of people behind me that we could present something so well. Yes, I have a lot of people to thank for that.
Right, and of course they'll all be on board with the business as well.
Yes, and we're continuing with the vision that Troy and Joe set up in the first place. It's an indoor mini golf business. We've got some of the after school aspects that can flow in with it, but primarily it's what Troy set it out to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're staying very much on faith with what you've begun here.
Yes.
2 years running. Obviously, it takes a lot of commitment, doesn't it? And so you must be really pleased to see that commitment.
Oh, absolutely.
Taken off.
You know, I think what Tanya brings to the game is amazing. Her energy and her drive to succeed is eclipses mine. You know, I was the brainchild, I suppose. It spawned in my brain and grew from that. But the wonderful thing is that Tanya and her team can take it the next step. They can push it like it needed to be pushed. I just didn't have that in me.
One of the things some may feel about Nelson is that it doesn't have as much to offer the youth that perhaps it should. But this, obviously, that's why you got into this business
definitely.
in the first place.
That and families. I mean, you look around, what is there for a family to do? We can go to the beach, we go to the movies. There's the climbing gym, of course, but not everybody can climb. Not everybody likes climbing. So really, that left a big hole in the market. It left a hole in our community. There was nothing there for families, children, young children, big ones, little ones, you know, granddads. nanas, everybody can play this game. And so that's where Roadhog sort of came about. It was because of that hole, that void. So that's where it came from.
And Tanya, Yikes, of course, is an after-school program. And what hours will you be maintaining here? Will you stick with the same old format, or will you try something a bit different?
Well, we think what Troy's developed here is fantastic, and I have not had one negative comment about, one negative comment about the facility and the venues. So we want to open it more so people can come down. So we're open 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock every day. And we're just hoping that'll get in the psyche of people, that they know it's here, it's open. In the weekends from 10 a.m, because people come down to the market, they might want to go mini golf first, plugging away there. We even had just recently a couple from Auckland, and they said, who designed this course? And we've been to many golf courses, and this is the best we've been to, and we agree, and we just think it needs to be open and people to experience it. It's just fun. Yeah, for everyone, like Troy said.
So Troy, do you think you'll be a consultant on building these indoor mini golf
I don't know if my brain can handle much more of that when I dredge the depths of it to make this one. But I'm certainly happy to help Tanya in any way that I can. You know, it's not just a matter of throwing the keys at her and saying, catch you later. I'm here for the duration, and if she needs me for anything, she's only got to holler. And Joanne's the same. You know, we're both well and truly a part of the system.
Yeah. Okay, so it's business, doors are open, everything's running smoothly, and no regrets?
Absolutely no regrets at all.
No regrets?
No, not at all. It's wonderful. It's a great way forward. I mean, together, Tanya and I, it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, it's a great team, and obviously you've got a great team behind you, so it's fantastic, and fantastic for Nelson and families and the youth of Nelson.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Nelson Pine has to be one of our region's greatest success stories, and for the last 30 years has continually proved to be one of the biggest innovators and exporters of added value timber products to the world. Chrissy Small spoke to Nelson Pine's CEO Murray Sturgeon about the documentation of the history of the business in a new book that has been written titled Nelson Pine, The Story.
Nelson Pine, The Story. Can you tell us a bit about the book and what inspired you, and a bit about the content?
Well, Chrissy, thanks for coming out to do this interview. The book was written to commemorate our 30th anniversary of the founding of Nelson Pine Industries. I deemed it necessary to record the founding, the history, because as time goes by, a lot of people are moving on or passing away and things like that. So I commissioned Piers McLaren from Takaka. He's a forest scientist, and he had written a book about a previous company I worked with in Canterbury Timber Products. So I commissioned Piers to assemble the story, if you will. And then we chose Robbie Bruton of to publish the book, and Chiquita Bell, who prepares our quarterly Golden Edge news for our staff. She edited that for us, and I'm kind of delighted the way that the book has ended up. It does record the story, and that was important for the future.
Right. So it was a locally assembled book. Really, everyone you've mentioned here, including the publisher, are all local people, and so it's a very local story. Tell me, how long have you been involved with Nelson Pine?
Well, I'm a first day pupil. I was appointed as the chief executive in the beginning to establish the plant, and my role was to assemble a team, specify the plant and equipment, and install it. The company anniversary is the 2nd of October 1984. That's when the company was formed, and the original partners were the local transport company Newman's Group, or TNL, Odlands of Wellington, and we invited offshore participation from Sumitomo Forestry Company. and a local lawyer from Pitton Moor, Mick Hollier, was charged with the responsibility of writing a 156-page document, which is an unincorporated joint venture. That was a first in New Zealand, I think, but Mick put together this document that was really a document to protect the investors, the last man standing, if you will. So, and over time, of course, Newmans were taken over by Corporate Investments, who owned the Montana wine business. Odlands were taken over by Winstone, who were subsequently taken over by Fletcher. They added no value to this company, so Nelson Pine bought their shares and distributed them back to Corporate Investments and Sumitomo Forestry, 50-50 arrangement. It's all recorded in the book. And then Corporate Investments withdrew their participation in the company, and Sumitomo, 22 years ago, exercised their right to take 100% shareholding. It's been a fantastic story. We employ, well, let me go back to the beginning. 84 was the founding of the company. Our line 1 was commissioned in 1986. Our product was renowned for its quality and the thickness range that we could produce on a continuous press, which was the first continuous press provided by the Kuster company out of Germany to produce medium density fiberboard. So the team of engineers and managers that I assembled were really pioneers, because we were doing something that no one else had done before in the world of medium density fiberboard.
And this seems to be a story that is ongoing with Nelson Pine, because you are innovators, aren't you?
Yes, we have chosen not to be Me Too's, but to use leading edge technology, and the Kuster's press, continuous press, as I mentioned, was the first to be used in the world. Our press number 1 was the 9th press that Kuster's had produced. The 3rd press that we commissioned in 97 was number 50. So every, and our 2nd press was number 23. So we had number 9, number 23, and number 50 from Kuster's as we expanded our business. So the quality of the product demanded that after commissioning the first line in 86, we commissioned our 2nd line and doubled our capacity in 91. In 1997, we commissioned our 3rd line, and that made us the world's largest fiberboard producer on one site in the world.
So now, this book, it'll be fascinating reading. It won't just appeal to the drivers of the trucks, will it?
No. We've distributed these books to the libraries, and every school in the region has one. Every member of our staff of 230 people received a complimentary copy. We didn't write the book to make money, but it is on sale in the Nelson bookstores, and the proceeds we decided to get from the sale of that book, and I let you have a look at the book so you can viewers can
A stunning picture.
to see what it is.
Yes.
There's a better picture in here, I think, which is fantastic. Look at the quality of that.
Wow. We certainly live in a beautiful place,
We
don't
do.
we?
But the proceeds, as I was saying, are going to go to the rebuild of the Nelson School of Music. So I hope that the local residents hop into the shops and buy one. But it's from the beginnings. There's Dick Potton, John Chapman, who were the founders, Sir Jack Newman, who was the chairman of the Newmans Group, Rex Loach and Dick Perham, two very good friends who had the idea. And I always said publicly that I was fortunate to be chosen to head up and start the company and put their dream into reality.
The new Green Meadows Community and Sports Centre in Stoke has moved to the next stage of the process, with detailed design, securing resource and building consents now commencing. Council has set aside $6.14 million over 2 years for the full project. However, there is some controversy in the community that things could have been done a bit differently. I spoke with concerned ratepayer Stuart Walker about this project. Stuart, you have some concerns about the proposed Green Meadows combined community and sports complex out there in Stoke, and the process is followed so far by Council. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
It's all rather bewildering, Graham. We've got a situation where the Council, in their own mind, feel quite satisfied that they've consulted adequately on this project. But they haven't consulted on the suitability of the site. And on that basis, we now find ourselves that the Council had been through a resource consent hearing, which a number of us attended and put quite well thought out submissions in. The result of that is that the hearing was held. The Commissioner has just recently, late last week, released his decision, and the basis of it is that it is going to proceed on the basis that it was always intended. In other words, we're going to have on that very restricted Green Meadow site at the traffic lights at Stoke, we're going to have a facility which is going to be very, very tight. It's going to be a combined community hall facility as well as expanded facilities for the sporting activity. There is a real issue relating to car parking, and the Council have engaged engineers who in their infinite wisdom have determined that the car parking is not an issue. And they said this at the hearing. However, at the hearing we've learnt for the first time that the Council, somewhere in amongst their hierarchy, have determined that the parking is not adequate. And to address this, they've come up with a wonderful idea that on the very day that it's likely to be used the most, which is Saturday, that the main hall, which is the community hall, which is designed for a capacity of 150 odd, possibly 170, is going to be restricted to 50 people only. And this is going to be during the cricket season and the rugby football season. Now, to me, that is basically all year.
All year, yeah.
So the project originally had a budget of $2 million. To date, it's crept up to $6 million. And to me, it makes wonderful sense to do whatever the sporting community require with perhaps an expanded facility at that site, and then go across the road towards Richmond a wee bit where the existing Stoke Hall is, and create a facility there that could be wonderfully well planned at this stage. Do it in conjunction with the earthquake upgrade on the Memorial Hall there, and have a far better outcome long term. You've got room for expansion if and when required in the future, and we need two separate facilities.
Yeah, well, certainly it does seem like that. I mean, has there been any other plans put forward for an alternative to what the Council has said?
When it was announced that it was going to proceed on the planned basis of a combined one at the one site, myself, along with Grey Power and Steve Cross and a number of other people have thought it through, and we all put submissions in for the resource consent hearing. Some of us actually spoke at the hearing. This is the first time personally that I've been involved at a hearing, and it's a pretty intimidating thing. It's exactly like a court, And so you end up with a bunch of amateurs, ourselves, up against pretty high-powered lawyers. And they are doing their job, which is to get the outcome that their client wants to have. Yeah. In this case, it's the City Council. The first question I had at the hearing is, why on earth are we at this stage of detail over a project which to me makes no common sense? And the Commissioner said, well, you know, we're confronted with what we have here now, and that's all that he can make judgment on. We also learnt in his decision that he has no jurisdiction over the actual suitability of the site to be a combined job. So we're now left with a situation where there's a group of us who are going to get together and determine what perhaps might be the next step, because if this proceeds on the basis that it's likely to under the present situation, the ratepayers are going to be left with the consequences of this decision, which I personally believe is totally and utterly wrong.
Yeah, I mean, a sports centre that you can't use to capacity on Saturday seems like starting in the wrong direction, really.
Well, you know, that is an admission that there's something basically wrong. I mean, what commercial person would spend $6 million on a project and have it limited to, say, $1 million worth at the very time that he wants to use it most? You know, someone's just not doing their thinking. And at the hearing, there was 2 councillors that were not there all the time, but at the period that I was there, they were there for a fair while. They weren't even aware that this 50-seat restriction was going to be placed on it. So you have to ask yourself, how much do councillors actually know what the staff are up to?
Yep. And
how keen are they to know what's going on anyway? Because so few questions get asked at council meetings.
Yeah, well, we've seemed to run across that a few times lately. I mean, a good example was the Bridge Street upgrade, which the administration just went along off their own bat and did, and the councillors all seemed a bit confused about that as well. But yeah, we'll ask council about that and about the 50 people limitations on Saturdays, and we'll see what we can come up with.
My understanding is that limitation also has to include staff as well. So you know, you're not just talking. And what's going to happen when a group of people want to go to a function on the Saturday? Who's going to count the numbers, and who's going to say, well, look, you're number 49, you're number 50, but look, you're 51 and you're the same group. You're not allowed to come in the door.
You're all out the door.
You know, I mean, the logistics of it is just crazy. And this has got to change, Graham. We can't carry on the way we are.
I asked people in Stoke their thoughts on the proposed new sports complex.
I'm not really into sports, but yeah, probably, I don't know, something for young ones anyway. I find Stoke isn't much good for young ones, you know, with travelling and, you know, yeah.
So it'll be good to have a community and sports complex combined here?
I think so, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Not that I could use it, but lots of young people can.
It's a community centre as well.
Oh yes, we need something like that.
No, I think it's all good.
It's all good?
Yeah.
I do feel it's a good thing. We are begrudging the loss of the public tennis court as a result, though.
Yes.
But anything that brings the community together has to be good for the community.
Sure. There's a bit of controversy in that people are saying they should make a spec-built sports centre over there and bring the community centre back over here with the hall and do an add-on and upgrade that one.
No, I think what they're doing is okay. We will probably outgrow it in time, but you have to choose a suitable location for any such facility.
Nelson College for Girls had their annual sports day today at Saxton Field. I went along to catch some of the colourful action and spoke with Principal Kathy Ewing and Sports Director Ariana Walker about the day. Kathy, you've picked another fantastic day. I don't think you've gone wrong so far.
I don't think so. It's a wonderful day today. It's actually got a lovely slight breeze, which is just cooling things a little. It's great.
It's not your normal athletics day. The girls are all dressed up. Can you tell us a bit about that, please?
Yes, our athletics day has a very strong component of our houses and very healthy competition with one another. It's part of the house competition for the year, and so they're dressed in their house colours, and they take a lot of pride in doing that, and it's great fun. Yeah.
And girls being girls, do they break into song quite often?
Yes, each house has actually worked out a chant, a house chant, and later in the day we will be hearing those chants, and that really gets things going amongst the girls. It really does. Yeah. Great atmosphere. Yeah.
Ariana, you're the sports director. What's the most popular events?
The most popular events are the 1 and 200 metres, and this year we've been able to split those into competitive and non-competitive, so everyone can have a chance to get participation points for their houses.
And Ariana, have you got quite a high calibre of girls here for the athletics?
Yes, we do. We have lots of really keen professional athletes, and we have a really good group coming through in the year 9 and 10s, and some that are going for national titles this year.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi there. Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and Mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications, Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Meet with John Pepper, the man who walked off his Parkinson's symptoms at NMIT's Ko-Fi Lounge, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m, Tuesday, March the 15th. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi, I'm Paul Mainland and you're watching Ego TV, or something along those lines.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more.
JCar, 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.